Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for October 19, 2023, more than 320 devices suspected to be explosives found in Kingston Western. A joint police military intelligence operation at a premises on Darling Street in the Kingston Western Police Division on Monday led to the discovery of more than 320 devices that are suspected to be explosives. The operation was based on high-quality intelligence obtained through the diligent use of various technologies and other methodologies, the Jamaica Constabulary Force said in a statement on Wednesday. We wish to underline the commitment and expertise of our officers who, by conducting this operation without any casualties, have demonstrated exemplary operational dexterity. While we understand the public's need for information, the very sensitive nature of this discovery means that certain specifics cannot be shared at this time. Currently, experts are conducting chemical tests to ascertain the exact nature of the substances found. The JCF will provide updates as and when it's appropriate, the police said. Additionally, the JCF said this significant seizure is a testament to the robust intelligence gathering capacity of our law enforcement agencies and underscores our unyielding commitment to ensuring the safety of the Jamaican people. Woman killed and a man injured in Mandeville crash. A woman succumbed to injuries she sustained and a man has been hospitalized following a motorcycle crash on Old Greenville Road in Mandeville on Wednesday night. Relatives identified the deceased as Jody K. Young, otherwise called Angel, a resident of Belfield in Manchester. Preliminary reports are that the crash happened about 7:45 p.m. Young is said to be the pillion on the motorcycle and the man as the rider. He is reportedly employed as a courier. Scores of motorcyclists who turned up at the scene and the Mandeville Regional Hospital told the news that the crash resulted from a hit and run. A car drove out on the bike from a street off Old Greenville Road and hit the bike. The rider lost control and crashed into a light post, said one of the motorcyclists. The woman was reportedly flung from the motorcycle. The injured people were taken to the hospital, where Young was pronounced dead and the man admitted in stable condition. Man accused of killing brother confesses. The Clarendon police have revealed that the man who reportedly killed his older brother during a dispute on Monday is in custody and has since confessed to the murder. In custody is Joseph Jones, and his deceased brother is 43-year-old George Jones. Operations Officer for Clarendon, Deputy Superintendent of Police Clifton Green, commended the efforts by the citizens of the Johnny's Hill District after they swiftly and safely apprehended Joseph following the dispute. In many communities, situations like these can lead to jungle justice or mob killings. However, Johnny's Hill residents took an exemplary approach. Responding quickly, community members seized the accused and ensured he was handed over to law enforcement, upholding the principles of justice, DSP Green said. The accused man later confessed to his crimes, further underscoring the gravity of the situation and the importance of community intervention. Though the timely response of the community members is commendable, it is unfortunately too late to save the elder Jones, emphasizing the need for early intervention and the community awareness when preventing such tragic outcomes, the lawman added. DSP Green said the Clarendon police are urging communities to remain vigilant, to recognize early signs of disputes, and to actively seek intervention in hopes of fostering understanding and preventing further tragedies. 7 arrested for extortion in Halfway Tree. 7 men were arrested in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew on Wednesday after personnel from the Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch continued operations at Transportation Streamline, where extortionists of private passenger vehicle operators within the corporate area are targeted. In addition to being arrested for extortion, the men were brought into custody for breaches of the Main Road Act and being in possession of offensive weapons. The arrest of these individuals is in keeping with the joint commitment by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Transport Authority and Island Traffic Authority to substantially improve safety and security, as well as a safe movement of people within the transportation sector. These operations will be conducted across the entire island. persons who aim to disrupt the sector and cause mayhem will be arrested repeatedly until they earn themselves long jail time, the police said.
One by one. One by one. Come on, yeah, come on. Come, take come. Sit down, sit down. One line. Come. So well. Now. I'm on city. You know, Rocha, you know, Sam, Rocha.
Yeah, man, same process.
Come on, walk with me.
Same process. Yes.
Former Klansman Wandon gang defendant accused of robbery granted $200,000 bail. Dwight Hall, who was freed in the Klansman Wandon gang trial, was on Tuesday offered $200,000 bail on a charge of robbery with aggravation. Hall, also known as Jim Brown of Bucktown in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, is being accused of stealing a knapsack containing almost $500,000 from a man. Bail was opposed by the police, which cited that Hall was involved in the gang trial and faced serious allegations. However, his attorney Courtney Rowe argued that his client was freed and therefore he is a fit candidate for bail. Parish Judge Annette Austin granted bail on condition that Hall does not interfere with witnesses, surrender his travel documents, and reappear in court on December 1. Allegations are that on May 24, the complainant was carrying out a business transaction in Spanish Town when he was robbed of his knapsack containing $496,000. A report was made to the police and Hall was arrested and later charged with robbery with aggravation. Suspected Heart NSTA staffers in limbo. Nearly 9 months have expired since 5 employees at the Heart NSTA Trust were suspended by the management of the agency, and to date, the leadership of the training entity is unable to give a definitive timeline as to when its internal probe of the affected staff members will be completed. Since the 5 workers were sent on leave last February, the management of Heart NSTA Trust has not stated publicly why it took that action. During a meeting of Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee yesterday, Dr. Tanisha Ingleton, Managing Director of the Heart NSTA Trust, faced tough questions about the investigative process being pursued by the agency. Fitz Jackson, Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Southern, who sits on the PAAC, expressed a shock over the period of time that the workers have been off the job to facilitate an investigation. Jackson reasoned that justice delayed is justice denied. He contended that 9 months for an internal investigation is awfully long. The opposition lawmaker argued that having the workers languishing on special leave without any definitive completion timeline for the process could be viewed as a form of punishment. However, Ingleton told the committee that the policy of Heart NSTA Trust allows for a worker under investigation to be on special leave for a maximum of 9 months. They would have been on special leave since February of this year, and that is to expire October 30th. We are not yet there, she declared. The internal disciplinary policy speaks to a timeline. They are not outside of the timeline. The 9 months have not expired. They are within the 9 months per the disciplinary policy, she stated. Retired Army Lieutenant General Rocky Meade, Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, told the committee members that the 9 months mentioned by Ingleton was the period for which employees could be sent on special leave during a disciplinary process. Heart NSTA Trust is one of the agencies that fall under the OPM. He said that if the process was not complete within the period stated by policy, the board could provide guidance in a situation where the persons are returned to the employment environment even if the disciplinary process is not complete. He noted the window that the managing director spoke to does not mean that she is guaranteeing that the disciplinary process will indeed be complete within the 9 months. Michael Phillips, chairman of the PAAC, asked if the employees who have been sent on leave received the letters from the management of HART about the findings of the investigation. The managing director said the letters dispatched to the employees formed part of the investigative process and they were given a timeline to respond. The receipt of letters is part of the investigative process, and so that a part of the process would have been concluded, she added. Commenting further on the investigative process, Ingleton said the agency followed the guidelines and ensured that it did not breach the policy. The process has followed its order from the moment the individuals would have exited the organization, and based on what was identified, we have followed the steps all the way. In August, King's Counsel Andre Earl, who is representing Sonia Ingleton, Senior Manager, Human Resource Management at HART NSTA Trust, told the news that no disciplinary hearing had been brought against his client at the time and no charges had been leveled against her in terms of any breach of discipline. He described the suspension of his client from the training agency as high-handed, oppressive, and arbitrary. Earl told the news in August that his client's leave was initially supposed to be for 2 months, but it was extended for an additional 2 months and then for a further 4 months. This is a stellar employee. She has been working with HART for over 23 years. She got a long service awards at 5 years, 10 years, and 15 years, and her appraisals that she gets have always described her as exceeding expectations, he said.